New video by HellHades. Guy I said I would not watch 7,000 times. I'm still watching him. He is, after all, the number one content creator of Raid Shadow Legends after he took all the fan base from Salt, who just reads the news and does the weather. So there is that. And also the second largest, probably Chosen, who is apparently Raid's nominated in-game arena expert. So that gives you some idea. But nonetheless, HellHades has an exclusive dream patch in Raid Shadow Legend. Make sure you watch to the end. Let's go. Cool intro, by the way. Bit weird. Anyway.
Hey guys, this is HellHades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I am honoured. I am blessed. Raid have come to me first and said, before we put this out to other content creators...
Wait, why has he got cans of paint or ice cream at the back of the shelf? What are these 3 cans? If anyone knows, put it in chat. Kind of weird.
Before we put this out to the community, we want you to dive into the test server and see the new patch before it drops. There are a ton of quality of life changes. Honestly, I'm going to go through the patch notes in a minute. It feels like the biggest patch they've ever dropped. It's like they've listened to so much stuff that we talked about, and they're going to implement it in the next patch. Absolutely bonkers. Leave me a comment below. What do you think? Let's get into it. So we're going to give you the kind of highlights of the patch notes info here, and then I'm going to show you in different areas of the game how it's actually going to be going live on the test server. So I'm not going to go into detail here. It's really wordy, but we can kind of talk about the different things that are coming in.
See, if I just go back a bit, the first thing that surprised me a little bit was how little silver and gems he has. Now, my understanding of the test server is that it's a true reflection of your actual account. Same champions, same resources. I might be wrong. I did sign the NDA with Raid to test stuff and get paid for it, but I didn't go through with it in the end. I'm just too busy. And you can't say that's true for my Discord activity. I just don't like to be obligated. It's a nice thing to get paid to test the game that you actually love. And I really love Raid Shadow Legends, but in the end, it's just a bit too much legal contract, tax law effort. So, but I'm surprised that he only has 5,000 gems and especially 2 million silver. So that threw me off a little bit initially. But you know, my mind wasn't focused on that.
Info here, and then I'm going to show you in different areas of the game how it's actually going to be going live on the test server. So I'm not going to go into detail here. It's really wordy, but we can kind of talk about the different things that are coming in, and yeah, I kind of walk you through the different areas. So blah blah blah. So it's basically due to go live with the patch this week. We've got here the marketplace is going to get a bit of an overhaul in terms of items and stuff. I'll show you that. The Guardian ring is now going to have
Okay, so Banana Jam, okay, is the YouTube
the token trader. So the token trader within the
community leader. So okay, fine. Well, we're just gonna accelerate through this. There's no point you reading it. You're not gonna be able to read this anyway. So
mainly around rewards. So let's get into the detail and see what it actually looks like.
Is HelloFresh worth the price? Absolutely. In the beginning, I was doubtful too.
It's like in-game. So look, we're going to take this in order of the patch notes. The first one up was the marketplace. So now we're going to be able to see different stuff in the market at last. We have got the chance to get 5 and 6 star epic and legendary items as your account levels up. So if you're an early...
but it says uncommon. So that's obviously false. Rare shard. Is that a general random rare champion, I think?
Player, yeah, you're going to see the same sort of stuff we used to see. But as you advance through the game, it now advances with you. A very small chance of a void shard in the marketplace. I don't mind it, it's a low percentage.
I can't imagine what the price of a void shard might be, given that it's valued anywhere between, you know, $2 or $3 to $5. compared to these things, which have almost no monetary value. I imagine it's in the tens and 20 and 30 million kind of range in silver costs.
That they've finally done something with this like dead feature within the game. Also a chance to get up to 5 fragments for a rare champion, but it's a random fragment champion. So
I mean, definitely think the marketplace needs to be upgraded by an order of magnitude. I think having a monthly void shard, yeah, maybe the price shouldn't be 20 million silver, because it's a limited edition thing. You're not repeatedly buying it. Like just once a month, one void, 5 ancient as we have it now, or something like that. I think it's definitely healthy. I think the market is a bit dead, but I think the repeated content in the market needs an upgrade. Um, Maybe you should sell more focused champions like the rares that you need for Raz Infusion, or stuff like that to help people in early game, mid game, new players push along, really.
you collect 100, it actually turns into a random rare. Same thing with epics. Chances to get the 5 fragment drop within the marketplace, which it looks like we're going to see spread around some other places in the game with this patch. When you get to 100, you hit kind of activate or summon, and it will summon you. So
I mean,
it's not just a kind of
yeah. This is not
again
really
the
telling me
Guardian
much
ring.
more.
And I mean, this feature's kind of fun, I guess. The sparring pit. It's been there forever. Again, it's just like a dead feature. Not really been anything that's been done with it. So it looks like here, randomly, like I thought it'd be like once a week or something. Just looks like randomly, when someone levels up, they've got a chance to level up and drop you an item, an accessory. So I guess it makes some sense. They're in the sparring pit. They're meant to be dueling to level up to kind of gain levels. Actually, now within those duels, they find themselves some loot now and then. And it's going to be specific to their faction.
So for me, up to now, this is by far the best change. Often you have too many factions, and doing Spider even up to 1,000 times, you won't get the accessory you're looking for. And I think putting in dummy champions here, like for example, Knight Reverend, Gaius, attack banner, attack amulet, you probably wouldn't keep too many of those around, and they probably won't roll triple accuracy, right? And like now you can put 5 Knight Reverend random 5-star champions, and they'll keep producing Knight Reverend accessories. I think it's a really, really good idea. I think an idea like that could only come from Plarium, which is what fooled me.
Accessory drop. And it could be anything from one feature. I guess it will also help you gain a bit of silver. And if we look a bit further down here, so the token trader, which has just been horrendous since it came in, they've now changed it. So you can actually unbind epic champions. Yeah, you get way less points. You don't get the 500 points you get for a legendary. You get 50 per epic. I still think that's pretty good.
It's insanely good because 10 epics is equivalent to a legendary. It's what you're saying, which is roughly correct if you think about the odds ratio of pulling a shard of getting an epic and legendary. 10 to 1 is roughly correct, but the problem is you have a lot more epics available to get rid of. You don't tend to get rid of legendaries, not easily anyway, but you get rid of epics very easily. Problem is I didn't save for any of this. All my epics are turned into chickens. So I regret not saving enough 4-star epics for this.
And then you go into the token trader, and once a month we get a reset, different champions. Hallelujah! Once per month, it resets to different champions. You've got your 6 legendaries in there like before, but also now 2 random epics pop up and 2 random rares. It's very unusual that you'll be picking up the epics and the rares, but you might. And when you're feeding off your epics to get your 50 points, actually over time, it's going to be more worthwhile to use the token trade points. It makes even more sense. In fact, let's do that now. So yeah, so you can see here in the events tab, so I've got an event running right now. What should we pick up? Pick up the Fire Night event.
notice how the YouTube adverts I get are about healthy food and money and finance, and the ones you Boomer gets are about anime.
And you can see here for the top 10 positions, depending on where you finish, so top two get 50 token points on top of everything that you normally get. Yeah, so it's not like, oh, they've replaced the
You wouldn't see that in a test server, would you?
shard, or they've replaced the void shard, whatever. All of those things stay. Now you can get yourself token points for finishing in the top of tournaments and events. And if you just kind of beat your level on the right-hand side here, you still get your epic tome, but you'll get another
I mean, this is great. If that ever comes as a change, it'll be great.
50 points there. Doesn't. But it's not arena. You're doing.
So the idea is that you get gold medals here, and then gold medals, when it overflows, can be converted to tag arena gold bars, and blah blah blah. When we get to the bazaar, my internet is lagging.
You can also see here this.
All the tiers are unlocked, so there's no longer bronze, silver, and gold tier, and you can buy anything you like, and there's a few more fragments to buy. This did not feel like what Raid would do. Raid is very tiered. Because it has to give you a feeling of progression and things you're missing out on to push you forward, right? If you open everything up initially, there's nothing more people would want, right? You're not depriving them. You're only asking them to plan, right? It becomes a planning problem rather than I really want to go push myself to the next level, right? And also the problem with this is, maybe for HellHades, this is quite a lot of bars. For real people that do tag every day since it came out, this is nothing. Like, people have 300, 500,000 bars saved up. This is nothing. And if they kind of convert their gold medals to bars, they'll have, close to maybe 800,000 bars. I mean, what they're fucking gonna do is a rare champion fragment. So whatever.
Question.
And the ratio of this is wrong. Like this is a gold legendary champion fragment. The ratio of 300 to 150 to a rare is completely wrong. Rares are random, and this is somehow meant to be an X fusion. Well, there's plenty of good X fusions. Yoshi, Brogni, even Karato is frequently used. And somehow this is a pathway to getting me +4 Karato, +4 Brogni, Yoshi, or +4 Withia. I don't know, man.
Only available for previous.
Looks really, really cheap compared to that ancient shard at 1,200, which is a bronze tier ancient shard. I don't think he's priced this correctly, even for a fake video.
Fragments. Yes, collector. You could do it over time now. People could choose what they want to buy from the shop. That's like going to the shop down the road. It's been there. It's always been there, but it's been invisible. Some people track it.
I mean, this is useful. This is tremendously useful for responsible gambling. I encourage Raid that if you watch this video, Raid Plarium, and you take nothing away from it, take the mercy system away from it. I think from a mental health perspective, from a responsible finance perspective, this is responsible behavior to have this here, right? Nothing else. You don't have to do anything else, but having that, I mean, people use add-ons anyway, but just having it in your game shows a degree of maturity and responsibility, honestly.
Like manually or whatever, having the 6 slots for champions that you kind of fill up to level.
So here's that instead of feeding 6 champions to level, you can feed arbitrary number or something.
I can just tick as many as I want, going down my into.
And here, his point was that you can just feed this into a champion. Like, you don't need to go out, click onto the tavern, feed them, come back in for summons, especially doing ancients and mysteries, which, produce a lot of, feeding champions.
Wanted to. Now, obviously, this is going to be a bit niche, but if you're trying to do like
it actually doesn't really make any sense, because a lot of these champions you pull are fusion ones. A lot of it will be useless fusion ones from the past, but some will be the current fusion. And you don't want automatic mechanism that just feeds them into this, right? So I'm not sure. Whilst it's nice for some aspects of gameplay, it's a bit too quick and dangerous, I think. Maybe it will never feed the fusion. Maybe it will feed everything except the fusion ones, right, or something.
Massive mystery shard pool. Last year they released the high. So let's look now at the rewards package on offer as it in the bazaar. It's here as well.
I mean, this is as it should be. I don't understand why it was never like this. It should give you shards and it should give you books, right? Normal clan boss does. Why would Hydra, much more difficult than normal clan boss, be different? I don't understand. They don't want power creep, but it's not. I don't think it's power creep to give people shards once a week, right? It's not once a day. It's once a week. So, and most people are not hitting nightmare highest chest, double chest. So I don't think it's a concern. Yeah, it's a bit strange.
You can also get together. And the other thing they've done, what a change on Hydra.
Hey, wake up. Aren't you meant to be doing a review of Fane's Jawline?
Yeah, so it was only a dream. It was a very good deep fake video. It had me fooled. It had all of the GNL clan fooled when I linked the video. We even started a discussion on these changes and what it means for the accounts and stuff. Because most of us watched probably to a few seconds before this and just thought, yeah, it's the end of the video. It's fine. And we can't wait. Right. None of us watched to this actual point. What are my thoughts? I think all of these changes are welcomed. Like, as a very end game player, as someone who's been with the raid community, as a moderator, as a player, since early 2020, I would love these changes. None of them I have a problem with. Like, some of the costs seem a bit off, but it doesn't matter. It's just it's just a bait video. Of course, nothing's going to be perfect. That's not the issue here. The issue is that I'm just a bit sad that Raid is not. I don't think it's even considering seriously these kind of changes, and that's a bit sad actually. That the gaming community is far further along in the quality of life and how the mechanisms link together than the Raid developers, in my opinion. And I don't think that there are strong psychological or gaming arguments to say why these changes shouldn't come into place. I mean, they always say, oh, it will be power creep and people will finish the game too quickly and that kind of stuff. I don't think so. I think the game, from a finishing point of view, a lot of endgame players finished it a long time ago, right? Like One Key Nightmare Hydra, just collecting gear. And I think these things are nice. And the other counter argument to this would be like making things difficult encourages people to spend more and spend more time in the game and grind the game and capture their attention, right? That's the fundamental argument, other than power creep, right? So power creep is one argument, attention capture is the other argument, right? And I think Raid is much more about controlling power creep. It's like controlling for inflation in an economy whilst trying to capture loyalty and attention. But I think the gaming community is smarter than that. Like when Diablo came out, Raid took a really big hit, right? And then Diablo Immortal collapsed, and now Raid is back. And the community really goes for the better game. And I think Raid should strive to be a better game and not worry about, capturing people's attention through the sheer grinding nature of it. Because what would happen is you're successful for a period where you do capture people's attention. Then people break and they quit completely and never come back. And I don't think that's healthy. I think sustaining people longer in a healthy way is much better than forcing people, breaking people, have them sell their accounts, and then we never see these people again. I mean, GNL as a clan of just three, as a cluster of just three clans. I know we lose people, one or two in the top clan every CVC cycle, I think, because I always see 28 out of 30 all the time. And that's the issue. And all the people we lose are mostly the players that have been around for a very long time and that you've built some kind of emotional attachment to. And now I don't really know that many people that have been around for a long time around me, in Discord at least, in the Discords I'm in. And that still play the game, of course. And that's a little bit sad because Raid hasn't been around for forever. It's not like 10 years and people have grown up, right, or grown out of it. It's not that long. It's only been during the lockdown, And I really would have expected people not to burn out so quickly. So my advice to Plarium is find quality of life mechanisms to make it more forgiving. You can still control power creep. I think you still capture attention in other ways, or you reduce attention by a tiny percentage, but you're much kinder to your player base that are basically your customers that supply almost all your income, right? So, you know, that's my thought piece. So good video, Hell Hades, good video. You generated a lot of agony, let's say, but it's good agony because people support what you propose here, and or what you dreamt here. And I think that, yeah, I would love to see these changes further down the road from Plarium. That's it. Zoid over and out.